So this is Karen, and today what we're going to do is we're going to work on getting her hair grown out a little bit. She's happy with the length in the front and then the sides. She did have a stack bob previously that she is working on trying to grow out the layers back here. So what we're going to do is bring the length up in the back in order to be able to lay this down a little smoother. Just going to clean up the layers through the top. I'm going to do a technique with my razor, my surface razor. And we're going to give her a freedom haircut, so it's going to be a long layered look. So we're going to be working with horizontal sections. I'm going to part straight down the middle of the back of the hair, directly underneath the occipital. It's going to be where our first section is taken. Okay, so we're actually going to take the razor from underneath the hair and work with a beveling technique. Essentially, we're going to keep the razor parallel to the hair, work underneath the hair shaft. Slightly shatter the ends off. This is going to allow the hair to start moving under, as opposed to the flip, which is currently. Since everybody does have a different hairline underneath, we consider that the red zone within the cutting system. And make sure we identify that when we're working in the outer perimeter, so we're not going to cut some corners off or have too much tension in the outer perimeter, allowing the corners to pop up a little bit. So when I'm detailing corners here, I'm just going to comb on top of the hair. Allow it to lay its natural leg and get all of these little extra little guys out of the way here. So our next section is going to come right above the occipital bone, up to the rear of the ear. Still working in our horizontal sections. So this hair is actually going to start getting a little bit shorter because of the previously stacked layering. Quite as much to do. I'm still going to work with the beveling technique. Just coming underneath the hair. Working with the back of the head. I'm not actually walking around my haircut, so we don't create, again, a lifting right in this corner. When we come to the sides where it would actually start getting a little bit shorter there from your guide. So we have a slight over direction in these rear corners to the back. I'm actually going to come up into the hair shaft a little bit too, get some framing from underneath. Move some of the weight through the ends of the hair. Okay, so now that we're actually getting above the ear, we're going to start working all the way around the hair. I'm going to treat that up like a whole. Start from the temple and work all the way to the rear ridge. Because we do want to add a little bit of length into the front, I'm actually going to work this a little bit more at an angle. See, there's not a whole ton of hair at this point that's going to need to be cut. So I'm going to make sure that we even that line out, but we're going to start seeing a little bit more hair into the corners that we're going to have to blend to the front. Start in the middle of the back. As I get to the sides of the hair, in order to know which is the back of the hair and the side of the hair, knowing which direction to start parting it from. I'm just going to lay the comb on the side of the head, and where the comb leaves is where the hair naturally, or the head naturally starts to curve. So that's where we're going to consider the back. This is the side. This is important because this is going to come back and be over-directed a little bit right into the rear. On this side. Now, a lot of times in these kind of haircuts, the corners start getting dropped and angled behind the ear, and I find that it creates a heavy spot right here on either side. A lot of times the client has a hard time styling that and getting it to blend in. So that's also another reason why I isolate the sides from the back, so I know where my angle needs to start to get like the sharpest line to it. So all these corners here are going to be taken off. Corner. Side. Taryn did let me know in our consultation that she's happy with the length in the front, so I'm just going to take my guide from behind the ear and blend it right to the front corner that she does. This time I'm actually going to have the razor a little bit more parallel to the hair, and we're going to work in a downward motion towards the front corner. Like a point where I like to do a little thing we call a cheater's guide. So I actually stand in front and make sure that her front corners are even. So I know that when I connect this dot that it's actually going to wind up even on both sides. The left side of her head, I'm actually going to have to change the position of my razor so I can get in there and come this way. We're going to just kind of round my fingers to the corner. So I've established our whole perimeter line, so we've got a nice soft angle going on in there. Looks like she's still a little heavy through the back, so I'm going to actually work with a piecing technique with my razor. It's going to give you a little bit more separation and movement through the ends of the hair. I'm just going to take a long, slow downward motion of the blade to remove some weight. You don't want to like chop into the hair because you're going to create break lines in it. So this is just going to really give a nice smooth flow to the hair. Especially in the corners right behind the ear, I feel like it's heavy. Ridge line here, just to make sure we still have a nice, clean outer perimeter. Just want to make sure that my guides, my dots that I'm trying to connect, you can see. So now getting into the layers, get that whole top section down. First thing that we're going to identify when working with any layers within the surface cutting system is where the high point is on the top of the head, and essentially that's where you put your comb on top and where it leaves the head on all four sides. It's going to be the highest point, and that's where we're going to start and comb our section back. We identify our crown by taking two straight edges. You can do two combs or your comb and the razor, and where the points meet on the corner, that's where your ridge line is. You want to ensure that you identify that all the way around the whole crown area. So this is going to be considered our black zone. All of this gets cut into the crown area. I'm going to work in three sections. First, straight down the middle. I'm going to step to the side and work on this side and then on this side. Working with our layers, we want to make sure that, first of all, our sections are no bigger than the teeth of the blade, and we always isolate it in between our first two knuckles. Anything that's down here is not going to get cut right. We don't want to go a whole ton shorter with our layers, so we're just going to clean them up, shatter off the ends. When you're working with a razor, you want to try to keep it as parallel to the ends of the hair as possible and not hack into it this way. But you're coming in with just a really nice soft shattering motion. That's how you're gonna remove the length through the ends of the hair. Give a little bit more softness and movement to the ends of the hair. You can go take the shatter deeper. To have a little bit more of a blunt edge, you take it a little softer. We got our little section, we're gonna work to the side. Off that corner. Get the other side. Crown. So now our next section, we're actually going to work through the whole top, and we're going to take that section from ridge to ridge, same way we did in the crown area. You find your ridge by finding the connecting point. And our guide is actually coming from our crown area, so we're going to take a 1/2 inch from there, step around to the side. If you are a left-handed hair cutter, you would stand on the right side, and a right-handed hair cutter on the left side. And our guide is right here in the back. We're actually going to take the blade now, and we're going to have it more towards the ceiling and coming in at a parallel angle to the hair, shattering that forward. You're going to create a little bit of an angle towards the front of the face to keep a corner in through the red zone in the front. If Karen parted her hair like really heavy on one side or the other, I would over direct the hair to wherever her part line is. Ensure that her layers are gonna lay even on both sides. Just come and shatter that off. Okay. I'm always gonna cross check as I go as well, just to ensure that I didn't miss any hairs or I don't have any weird long pieces or wings. And I did over direct it a little bit over her part, so you're gonna see a slight angle to the layering. Okay, so that completes the top. Now our last step is we're gonna actually take our guide from our previous sections. So we're gonna do a 1/2 inch above the ridge line all the way around the top of the head, and that's gonna give us our guide to connect our layers from the top to the bottom. Working within a cutting system actually helps you to have an idea of where you're going before you begin, so the haircuts go a little bit faster and with more efficiency. My guide, we're just going to come in and shatter the line. So there's a corner right there, and that's what we're taking off. As I work around the whole head, your section is, or your guide is always coming from the top, not necessarily from the section before it. I'm always going to cross-check the opposite direction of how I cut the hair. So since I layered everything vertically, vertical sections, I'm actually going to come in horizontally to cross-check. So I'm going to leave just the outer perimeter out, stand on the other side. Again, we're mostly looking for if there's some long wings or any uneven pieces. Just a little framing around her face, and we're going to trim up the bangs a little bit. She does like to wear them sweeping off to the side a little bit, so I'm going to actually angle them a little and then piece through them to remove some of the weight. So just like I was doing my angle down here, I'm going to start in the corner and just roll my fingers. It's actually going to automatically create a little bit more length to the corner here. Piecing technique. Before we get to the styling, just ensure that her layers through the sides here and where her perimeter hits in the back, that there's not a corner. There'll be a little bit of one right there, so we're just going to take that softly blend it in.